Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be reviewing the Ford Ranger Raptor. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Ford here in Park City for giving me some time with this Ranger. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy 16 around town, 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 405 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. You can also get a performance tune from the factory, so this is Ford certified, that increases those power outputs. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood of the Ranger Raptor, you can see just like an F-150, it's raised there on either side, and then it doesn't have the giant vent piece in the center. Instead, it has little vent pieces off to either side. C-shaped headlights here, they call them performance LED, which is kind of interesting. You got the Ford logo there, giant with the lettering. You also have the camera there, and it looks like they thought about putting marker lights on the Ranger Raptor, but they didn't actually end up putting them there, funny enough. We've got fog lights down below, and then you do have recovery points and skid plate protection underneath. And putting it all together, I think that the front end of this truck is pretty darn good looking. So our tire wheel setup is 285 by 70 by 17. So this is almost a 33, but I'm sure Ford calls it a 33-inch tall tire. We've got the beadlock capable wheels, and this has the new KO3s, which a lot of people have really liked on vehicles, not just the Ranger Raptor, but on a lot of vehicles in general. And then we also have these giant fender flares here, wider body with the Ranger Raptor in general. Little vent piece there on the side. You've got the Raptor side steps with it. It actually still says Raptor on it, which is pretty cool. And then this does come with live valve Fox shocks. Here's your side profile with the truck gaining, see that wide body appearance. And then taking a look at the key fob, we've got our lock and unlock function. We've got the remote start, the Raptor logo there on the back as well. And then hopping into the rear, you can see the tailgate is dampened. We've got an outlet here in the back, and then you've got protection from the factory on the bed, which is always a nice touch. And the tailgate itself also has a ruler on it. Lifting it up is pretty easy to get into place. So the taillight design here. Got your Raptor logo there, and then you've got the custom bumper here, and then pretty aggressive exhaust tips with the recovery points in the back. And so, again, putting it all together for a midsize, this looks cool. Popping inside, you can see that we've got nice soft touch and stitching all across. And then you can see with the seats, more of that fancy stitching and trim. And I like that, it's kind of cool. Legroom, it's definitely cramped against a midsize. Do have a little storage there with some USBs and an outlet as well. And then headroom back here, it's good. Now this leads us up front where, again, you've got all of the nice soft touch trim here as well. This is kind of cool, durable feeling. This comes with memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. The mirrors also power fold in. Payload on this is 1288. You guys are running in the vehicle weight, so there's the full 6790, 1280. So this still weighs like mid 5,000s, 500 pounds. Not lightweight by any means, but cool front seats. They are power adjustable. Got all of your light controls here, and then nice orange accent around the vent. And start her up. So we've got the fun Raptor steering wheel with the marker at the top. Got really aggressive trim there on the side. Really nice grips in general. Raptor logo there at the bottom. Paddle shifters on the back. We also have controls for the steering adjustment, the shocks, the exhaust. You've got your center stack adjustment too. Adaptive cruise control built in with this. Lane departure, and then you've got regular stocks there on the back. Full digital gauge cluster here with the Ranger Raptor. It's customizable in terms of the information that you can display in the center, which is very useful. And then you can see the drive modes here. The camera's kind of struggling a little bit, but there's a bunch of different modes for both on-road and off-road use, including a Baja mode, right, because this is a Raptor. This also comes with a 360 camera system, but it's got the vertical screen, so not the biggest camera view, but it's also not that big of a deal. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system itself, it's easy to access the camera. And then if you have it in like the off-road modes, you can also do the trail camera, which will have like the tires up front to let you know where you're going, which is nice on tight trails, so you can do a little bit of self-spotting. See with the little vehicle tab there too. I mean, again, everything's pretty user-friendly, but it is kind of obnoxious that literally everything's built in the screen. Like, for example, there's the trail camera. If I want to lock the diffs, which it does have a front and rear locker, which is great, and off-road cruise control, but yeah, you got to do it all on the screen. They at least give you physical buttons for the climate, which is a nice relief. Soft touch trim all across the dash, kind of that same durable feel to it. You actually have a top glove box, which is a nice feature to have. Lower glove box as well. Phone charging pad here with the USB shifter there for the 10-speed. Cup holders. We've got our parking assist with our stability control, auto stop start, your drive mode select. Well, sorry, not drive mode select, but off-road mode stuff. So like the pages there. Drive mode select is actually this little dial here with your drive line and then your trailer backup. Storage in the center console. Nice trim here as well. Regular rear view mirror, and then we have 6 auxiliary switches, so it's easy to add auxiliary items. Here's a quick look at the window sticker for this. You guys can see 2025. Total MSRP $59,785 for the Ranger Raptor. And sum things up. I understand, Ranger. I understand. So, Ranger Raptor. Sorry, let me adjust the seat here a little bit. Now, here's a big benefit of having a 360 camera system with a truck. Tight situations. Now, you could imagine that could be a tree and that could be a tree in an off-road situation. Still don't want to hit them, right? Now those are the most expensive trees I've ever seen in my life, at probably about $70,000, $80,000 a pop. But I think you guys get the point. I guess we are technically off-roading a little bit here, a little bit, right? So here's the deal: the Ranger Raptor, a lot of people say, is the best mid-size pickup truck because of the engine. It's got this turbo V6. It has tons and tons of power, way more power than this could ever need. 405 horsepower is already a ton for midsize, and then if you get the Ford Performance Tune, I'm probably going to be off on the power figures a little bit, but I think it jumps it up to like 455 and then over 500 pound-feet of torque or something like that, or somewhere around there. Someone will correct me in the comments below. It's awesome. That's the thing I genuinely like that about comments, is the fact that you get instant correction. So yeah, it's cool. That's a ton of power. When it comes to the drive of the Ranger Raptor, this is a do-it-all vehicle. It has extremely comfortable suspension. It has really sharp steering as well. So like turn in, I know I'm not going very fast, but it's super direct. It feels like a sports car on road. And it feels like that more so than the F-150 Raptor because it weighs roughly, I mean, when we look at the actual weight, you're looking at about 400 pounds lighter than an F-150 Raptor, but also just a smaller footprint. So, you know, it adds up. It definitely adds up. And, you know, I think when you put it all together, this engine sounds cool. It leads to a vehicle that is very fun to drive on road. And it also just gets the job done in terms of daily driving. Like, this is comfortable enough. It doesn't get the best fuel economy, but I mean, it's a pickup truck, right? It gets pickup truck fuel economy, so that's fine. And then you have the off-road capability. This thing is incredibly capable. It has a front and a rear diff lock. I've seen some people complain about the traction control system that Ford has, and I agree with that. I understand that. Ford and Chevy, I think their kind of mentality is that you use the mechanical stuff they offer. So like, this has locking diffs, you're going to use them more often if you're doing crawling and stuff. But yeah, the Baja stuff, right? It's got the shocks for it, it's got the travel for it, it's got the power as well. Super smooth with the 10-speed. It's a great package. Like, everything together, it's a great package. I'm not in the market for a mid-size pickup truck. A little bit too small in the cab area, but if I were to buy a mid-size pickup truck, Ranger Raptor would be the one. it's just the sizing is great, how this drives, and I'm a utility buyer. Utility is key to me. This has, for a midsize, pretty solid payload, pretty solid towing capacity for what it is. And then I can also, like, literally this could be the vehicle that could do it all for you. You can off-road with it, you can tow with it, you can daily drive it. Not the best family car because of the spacing in the back, but you could make it work. I have friends that have cars that are this size inside and they've got kids. They make it work. It's not the most comfortable, but they're all actually, no, now that I think about it, they're all shorter than me. So that's part of how they make it work, but they make it work. You know what I mean? So it's definitely possible. And so for sub $60,000, I think in terms of just vehicles, this thing is very, very appealing. It's like you get a lot. You're getting a lot for the money, in my opinion. I don't really think there's any other, when you just look at just vehicles, I don't really think there's any other vehicle that you can buy in the US right now that's under $60,000 that provides the scope of utility that the Ranger Raptor provides. I know some people might argue the new 4Runner, but I mean, at this price point, you're barely getting, you couldn't even get, like, if you wanted a 4Runner Tier D off-road premium with power, you're over 60. So yeah, this is a good value.